All right, guys, what's happening? What's happening? It is Wednesday, October 6th, 2021. This morning, we're going to talk a little sales, guys. We're going to talk about how to win the sale. And, for me, I've been in sales my whole entire life. And, the way that you win a sale has changed a lot over the years. Sales has changed in such big ways, with people having more access to information, more access to be able to choose somebody else to do business with. So sales has changed a lot. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about in 2021 and beyond what I believe the best way to win the sale is. Let's get started.
It is ultimately important for you to look at your goals, truly what you want to do in your life, and then look at the people who you spend the most time with in your life and figure out if that lines up.
All right, guys, what's happening? Happy Wednesday to you. I hope you guys are having an awesome morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Pittsburgh, man. I'm excited to be here with you guys, and thank you guys for being here with me this morning. We're going to talk a little sales, man. It's just one of my favorite topics. We got the window washers outside here this morning, so if you guys are watching on video here, I closed the blinds to make it less distracting. But you might hear some guys talking outside the window. That's okay, though. But at any rate, what I wanted to jump into this morning, guys, was, how to win the sale. How do you win the sale in 2021? I think it's just very, very different than what most people think. How we win sales, how we secure business, how we build relationships, everything has changed, right? There's so much that has changed in 2021 and over the past probably 3 to 5 years when it comes to sales and how people interact and how people meet companies and how people choose to do business with companies. And so we're going to unpack some of that this morning. And I'm going to talk to you guys about, just the right way to build relationships, the right way to have yourself, give yourself the best opportunity to be able to secure sales, to be able to secure a relationship that lasts the test of time, right? That actually, ends up being recurring business. So how do you attract and retain those clients that end up being repeat business, right? So it's very important for us to understand how that landscape has changed in order to be able to deliver the best experience and the best sales interaction that we possibly can. We've all had the negative side of that plenty of times in our own lives. And so I'm going to share with you guys this morning what I've learned over the past 20 something years being in sales and how that has evolved into today's world. But first, as always, before we jump in here, I just want to say good morning to everybody. Sharif, what's happening, man? Good morning over on YouTube. Rick, what's happening? Daniel Goods on YouTube, too. Ed, Keith, Scott, Jared, Rick, Tony Grout, what's happening, man? David Martin and Todd Garrell, the sales expert himself, is here hanging out with us this morning. So here's the deal, guys. How you win a sale in today's world is very, very different than how it used to be. We've all watched the sales movies and we've all had, those sales experiences. It's unfair, but the way that people think about this is, the used car salesman type approach, right? The high pressure, the real slick talking sales guy, trying to manipulate people into making a decision to do something. And as sales has evolved, as technology has helped move sales forward, those things have really changed, right? And so now sales and marketing has become such a blended line. It's almost the same thing, right? So your marketing message has to be in line with your sales approach. And so people like that experience and they like to be able to go online. They like to be able to build a relationship with somebody really before they actually have to talk to them these days. And so content like this podcast or other podcasts that I do, we have a podcast at the Pavement Group. We have a podcast at Lead Revenue. Those things allow people to get to know you on a personal level before they have to, invest time to have a meeting or get into a situation where they're talking to you about doing business and they're not even sure who you are. So to me, the precursor to sales in 2021 and beyond is marketing. It is digital presence. It is people feeling comfortable with you and your company before they ever actually have to sit down to talk business with you. They should have the opportunity to get to know you much, much better today than they could 10 years ago, than 15 years ago. And so I want you guys to think about that. Reality is, in today's world, is that you are a marketing company first. You are actually, a digital company, a media company first, before whatever it is that you do. And that helps you be able to build relationships. Many of the people that are on this stream, I either rarely see in person, some I have never even met in person, but it would be fair for me to say that we have a close relationship, that we have a good friendship because of our interactions online, phone calls, text messages, DMs, comments back and forth, whatever it may be. But I think that for a lot of people that listen to this show or listen to everything else that I put out on social media, people get to know me and they get to know our companies as a result. They get to know the people that exist on our teams, things like that, as a result of these types of platforms. That this is the power that these platforms give us. And so I think that helps us be able to make decisions from a sales standpoint much, much easier. It allows us to, psychologically have an emotional unlock that leads us in the direction of people that we have alignment with before we actually go shopping and we have that pressure of that situation to make a decision. And so for those of us who are in, service-based businesses like construction and things like that, remember how people view our industries. There's a lack of trust across the board in many different industries. The car industry is one of them, automotive. There's a stigma to that industry that's probably unfair in most cases. And it exists anyway, right? In construction, there's a negative stigma to contractors, and there's a reason for that. It's unfair most of the time, but people still have it, and that's something that we have to deal with. And so I believe how you win sales in today's world is by not really selling at all, by more showing people who you are, what your company is, what you stand for as a company, what your values are. And the more you do that with frequency and consistency online, the more that you show what it is that you stand for and how you're different, it enables people to make those decisions to actually want to do business with your company much, much easier. And so I say this often, but I believe that sales in the year 2021 and beyond is really not sales at all. It's probably the lack of sales, the lack of pressure. The more you educate, the more you inform, the more that you give when it comes to how something should be done, the more you become the trusted source, the preferred choice, or the only choice to be doing business with. And so I think that sales in 2021 is a far less transactional game. And somebody said it in the comments here, but it is a much more relationship-based environment. Because as we are able to access so much information and we can do our own research and we can understand the products and we can, educate ourselves before we ever get into the arena of talking with a salesperson. It's really about those relationships, the level of trust that you can have with a person before you actually have to interact with them. And so for those of you out there that own companies that are looking to, close more business, build a bigger sales funnel, meet new people, grow your companies, the best way to do that is to put yourself out there, is to have the conversations like this one into a camera that talk about what it is you stand for, what it is you enjoy about business, why you started your business in the first place. What is it that you're trying to solve? And not just about what you do. I could tell you guys all day about how great lead revenue is at marketing, how incredible our team is at the Pavement Group about paving parking lots, but it's not about that on either front. It's about how we impact people. It's about how we can solve the biggest problems that people have. When it comes to marketing, We solve the problem of people not having enough opportunity to grow their business. That's a big problem for a lot of people, for a lot of contractors, for a lot of automotive dealers. That's a big problem. If you don't have enough opportunity, you need to have a trusted source that can generate that for you. And that's what we do as a digital marketing company. At the Pavement Group, I remind our team all the time that we don't pave parking lots. We get property owners and managers back home to their families with less concerns than they would with any other contractor. We are true problem solvers, and that's what we stand for. And we do things the right way, especially when it matters the most, especially when it's most difficult. That's what it takes to build relationships. And it takes a level of transparency, making people part of the process. How do we bring them into the process? How do we bring that customer in and create transparency in a process that never had transparency before? Because in today's world, guys, you can touch your phone and order a car, and you can know exactly what time it's going to show up within a few minutes, either way. You can order a pizza, and you can see at what point that pizza is going through the pizza oven at the place that you ordered it from in some cases. And so the world is changing when it comes to how people want to be sold and what kind of experience they want. And for those people out there that are old-fashioned, they don't like technology. They don't like the evolution of how sales has changed. I caution you that it's not going back. It's going forward, and it's going forward much, much faster. There is a race to adopt technology and adopt digital across all platforms. Those people who are doing it the best are the companies that are growing the fastest. They're also, generally speaking, the companies that have the highest level of satisfaction. There are studies that show that people just want to be involved. They want to know what's happening. Their level of satisfaction goes up, not from always the experience, but by being informed along the way. And so when it comes down to winning sales in 2021 and beyond, it takes listening. It takes being on the forefront of innovation. It takes listening to the problems that people have and really creating simple solutions to solve them. And when you talk about the problems that people have, most of them are surrounding the concept of time. How can we save them time? How can we eliminate pain? And if we can focus on those two things, and we can build all of our processes, all of our systems, and invest all of our money as a company into solving those things, and we can get the best results, those people will become recurring revenue customers. They keep coming back because it's the best experience. There are places that I've done business with in my life for years, and I will never change. I don't price shop. I don't compare. I don't look at what the newest thing on the block is, because the experience that I have at that place has been that great. The relationships that I have with those businesses is that good. Some are restaurants, some are places I order things from. Some are technology solutions that I use. But when you think about how to win sales, how is it that you put yourself in the best position to do that? And you put yourself in the best position to do that by listening to the problems that exist for every customer, not the ones that are outliers. Those are important too, and you can solve those problems as well. But when it comes down to it, it's the problems, the 3 to 5 problems that every single customer for your business might have. And if you listen close enough, you'll figure out that there are 3 to 5 problems in every business that are major, that continue to repeat themselves, that most companies aren't taking the time to solve. And if you can build a company that does solve that does get results, and does it in a way that puts people at ease with regard to those problems, you're going to be incredibly successful. And that, friends, is what it takes to win sales in 2021 and beyond. It's relationship. It's telling people the truth. It's working hard, being willing to answer the phone whenever people need you. And when you do that, you will create success beyond your wildest imagination, and you'll create real relationships and real friendships with clients. I joke about this one all the time. I say, you don't need more friends, you need more clients. that are in alignment with your values, and they become your friends. Sometimes they become your business partners. Sometimes they become people that, get to know your family and become your best friends. But it all starts with having the right approach when it comes to sales and problem solving, and actually giving people real value, real education, real understanding, and listening more than you talk. When you're talking, it should be something regarding making their life easier and solving a problem. That's it. So it's that simple, guys. I hope this episode changed your perspective, gave you a little shift in the way that you look at what sales looks like in 2021 and beyond. Brett hit the nail on the head. Success in business is solving a problem. No question. It's that simple. And if you are taking a transactional approach to solving people's real problems that you're trying to exchange any amount of money for, people detect that and they can get that type of service from anybody. So it has to be a unique experience, one that they walk away from remembering very clearly that it was different, that something about the energy on that phone call, something about the knowledge on that Zoom call was a little different than what they have experienced in the past. It's about elevating your own expectations. What do you expect of yourself? Figure out what those 3 to 5 problems that you're solving would be, and spend all of your time, all of your energy, and all of your money investing in things for your company that help solve them. And the rest takes care of itself. That's it for this morning, guys. I hope you guys have an awesome day. Happy Wednesday to everybody. And I will see you guys again tomorrow morning, same place, same time, right here on Morning Perspective. Love you guys. Thanks.